of teams down there, right? I also know there's like 5 or 6 guys in this lobby, desperate for just a hint of love.
Song earlier. Did you make that up? I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah, I just made it up.
Great.
What was it again?
For games to nail?
Something about tonight, but it felt like,
Well, I can't remember the tone. Maybe you can remind me.
kind of like that.
And definitely not hiding in a subterranean bunker. Our heroes have fled Earth aboard a spacecraft with one purpose. To bring you the hottest trailers, to bring you the best interviews, to bring you the PC Gaming Show.
Hola.
Continúa la guerra.
Estoy transmitiendo la conferencia.
Situation collapses.
Sean!
Situation collapses. Situation
Do something! Do something!
Countdown to the extinction of the human race begins now.
Oh, Deadbot, no! We have so much to live for. I'm pretty sure half my breed's gonna be announced this year!
4, 3, 2.
It is so good to be back, gang, and this year, we're in space!
Aye, aye, Captain.
Happy to be remotely on board, Sean.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to finance this year's PC gaming show by, you know, selling all those black market graphics cards you've been hoarding.
Ah, yes, a crime with absolutely no real-world consequences. Hey, Frankie, wait a minute. Is that a 65-ton catapult mech model CPLTC-1 as featured in MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries?
Sean, I always knew you had immaculate taste. It most certainly is.
I can't wait for this year's significantly more weaponized PC gaming show to go off without a hitch. Which reminds me, Deadbot, can you run a quick...
¿Puedes decirme qué tal se ve?
Of course, Sean. Running hitch scan.
¿Dónde entro?
And I also want to warmly welcome someone new to the
¿Qué
crew.
plataforma?
Mika Burton, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
En YouTube.
I'm so happy to be here and look forward to bringing all of you
Bueno.
fresh new PC games and hardware.
Hitch scan complete. 0 hitches found presently. Or
La primera vez que retransmito.
908,665 possible futures.
Hooray!
Yeah!
So what's the plan,
Quiero
Cap?
ver.
Well, Frankie, Deadbot's gonna send you the coordinates for your first target, now. Your targets might be exclusive interviews, trailer premieres, or any number of amazing new computer games to beam down to the fine people on Earth.
Mission received.
Now, this is gonna continue until all the targets are acquired and our mission is completed smoothly and without a hitch. Isn't that right, Deadbot?
Yes, no hitches located, Sean. Not a single hitch in sight.
But first, let's teleport down to the stage to check in on E3 happenings.
Bueno, acá en el teléfono se ve bien, hay que ver en la PC, ¿no?
Be back on Earth.
¿Se ve? Bueno,
Sí se ve.
Planet
No en HD,
Earth.
pero se
Great to
ve.
be back, right? Am I right?
One of my favorite planets in the whole
no en HD.
It's all right.
Está en HD el directo.
That teleporter was
Sí, el
conveniently
mío también.
built just out of frame of camera. Mika, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the PC
Se ve
Gaming Show
súper fluido, ¿eh?
2021. It feels great to be back on a live stage once again. Over the next 90 minutes, we're going to bring you a showcase of some of the most exciting upcoming PC titles
Bueno.
with world premieres and exclusive interviews.
And if dozens of new trailers wasn't enough for you guys, later in the show, we are going to tell you how to win a custom MechWarrior 5 themed PC powered by Intel. So you're going to want to stick around for that.
Now, make sure to keep out a special look for a special promo code throughout the show from Humble Bundle, during
Vamos a
which
ir como
you can
monstruo.
get a ticket to get Civilization 6 Platinum Edition for just 10.
El audio está bajo.
Right now, we're going to kick things off with
Ya le doy, bro.
Point, probably the most original entry in the Battle Royale genre this year. Let's go!
Naraka. Battle Royale. Ok, en junio de la beta dice. Ah, es como... hay que pagar para poder entrar, ok.
You are watching the 2021 PC Gaming Show, and I am the new cloud-based deadbot. I am streaming from GeForce Now, NVIDIA's cloud gaming service that connects PC gamers like you to their own library of games, purchased from digital stores like Steam and the Epic Games Store. Coming up, Dying Light 2 and Orcs Must Die 3. But first, a trailer for Humble Games' Dodgeball Academia. And be sure to check out GeForce Now, currently available for PC, Mac, Shield, and
Oh, espero que no me fune YouTube por la cantidad de copyright que hay en este directo, ¿no? World Premiere.
Finally, I've made it. My time is now. I will become the best player the school has ever seen. Dodgeball Academia, here I come.
A ver, OBS si va todo bien. Bueno, parece que sí. Me parece que no está con sus títulos, pero voy a revisarlo, voy a buscar en el teléfono. A ver
Make
si
sure to
está.
check out Dodgeball Academia out soon from Humble Games. Ooh, that was sweet. Don't you agree, DevBot?
Sure, whatever you say, Sean. I agree with whatever you say.
I'm sensing a little bit of resentment there, buddy. Has something rusted your ports?
Nothing. I am happy to play second fiddle to a captain as charming and handsome as you. I have also definitely not dedicated multiple cores to computing revenge plans in a range of lethalities.
Great!
New target acquired, Cap. It looks like Chivalry 2 with a special word from Steve Piggott, CEO and creative director of Torn Banner Studios.
No, parece que con subtítulos no lo
Hey
encuentro.
guys, Steve Piggott, founder of Torn Banner Studios and creative
No,
director on
tiene pinta que
Chivalry
no.
2, which just launched 5 days ago. I'm so happy to be here at the PC Gaming Show.
Ah.
Chivalry 2, if you don't know, is a first-person slasher, which is like the first-person shooter, except instead of guns and grenades, you've got swords, battle axes, longbows, and players are fighting it out on these huge 64-player battlefields. It's all about creating those epic sword-fighting duels that you see in medieval Hollywood movies, and also that huge clash, the Battle of the Bastards kind of chaos and carnage. So the post-launch support plan is going to look like a mixture of mid and massive level content updates coming out across this year. One of the things we're most excited about is taking it to different eras in the medieval period. Before we've done the early period, now we're going closer to the later period in the upcoming update where you're going to get a bit more refined medieval armors and refined atmospheres that you can then go in and tarnish it and smear blood all over. But we really want to take players into different experiences and make each of our maps its own game mode and make it something that medieval army would actually do when they go into a space. And when you come across these pristine gardens and this beautiful castle, you get to tear it all down and cause it's a canvas for your destruction.
For Chivalry 2 is basically bottom line. It's the game that got us onto the scene and started the company, and it's the game that's going to take us so much further.
With the post-launch plan for Chivalry 2, the game at launch is a foundation. It's intentionally been built to be extended.
It's not just out and done. We're going to support it a lot with post-launch content.
Gallancourt is the first TO map that's coming out post-launch.
Gallancourt is going to take us to the high medieval times or the late medieval times.
It really captures the Agathian ideals of being this noble, rich, wealthy place where the prosperous live.
You're going to feel like you're sieging the Tower of London if it was on a port where ships could dock into. You'll also be blowing up a couple ships, which is fun. We've got a ton of weapons coming in at launch, but there'll be more and more added to it post-launch as well.
A new fighting style is really going to change up the experience and change how you have to fight everyone. Post-launch content is something that we're going to be working on for a long time.
The game is really going to at least double in size for free.
Oh yeah!
Next up, we have an exciting look at Dying Light 2, and make sure to stick around to find out how you could win a custom Mech Warrior PC from our friends at Intel.
No hay subtítulos, gente, así que... Verlo así, ¿no? Transmitido del canal el oficial que es Game Export. Estuve revisando ahí un post YouTube si encontraba algún otro directo y me si estaba alguno subtitulado o no, pero el único que subtituló el directo fue Xbox y Bethesda, eso lo tenían subtitulado. Bueno, había un directo para ese subtitulado. Este juego yo lo había visto jugar a unos youtubers por ahí.
Hi, my name is Piotr Szymanek. I'm narrative director in Dying Light 2, Stay Human.
¿Dónde me suena la cara del loco este?
Today, especially for the viewers of the PC Gaming Show,
Vamos a haberlo
I'm
visto
going
por
to
ahí.
tell you a little bit about the Dying Light universe.
¿Es un actor este?
Stay tuned. Every tragedy begins somewhere. This one started with a virus that escaped from Haran, the city we met in the first part of the game, and it reached the whole world, including the city where Dying Light 2 takes place. Remember January 6, 2025. That day, later known as Black Monday, the military ordered chemicals to be dropped on the city. It was a mistake, a huge mistake. The chemicals mixed with water penetrated the soil, killing plants, turning most people into bloodthirsty monsters. Don't think of them as zombies though. They are more like half-alive, suffering people who attack everything that lives as a result of their pain and rage. Those who survived the chemical raid took refuge on the rooftops. A new order has been born in the city. People live on rooftops, monsters in the streets. Nobody in their right mind would dare to come down. Well, let's say almost nobody. The exception is the main character of Dying Light 2, Aiden. But why is he braver than others? How did he develop such a unique parkour and combat skills? Believe me guys, I would gladly answer all these questions, but I'm not here to spoil it for you. Let me tell you one thing.
Same nightmare haunts me every night. I'm locked up with other kids. I don't know what he did to me, but he did it every day, over and over, looking for something he couldn't find. The worst part was that he did the same to my sister. I'll never forget her scream when they separated us. What could I do? They had rifles, and we were 5 years old. And there was a fire, explosions, chaos. I got away. Soldiers took me out of the city, but my sister stayed there. My Mia, I left her.
We meet Aiden as one of the many, many children undergoing mysterious medical research. The last thing Aiden remembers from that time is extreme pain, then a fire, and a little girl that was being tested with him. Her name was Mia. She was his sister. What happened next after the fire? Is Mia still alive? The following years haunted Aiden with these questions and with guilt over leaving her. Moreover, Mia is the only answer to the question who Aiden really is. Now in 2036, we meet Aiden when, for the first time during his pilgrimage, he finds a clue about how to find his sister. Aiden's path to the truth is tough, full of challenges and adventures. The difficult choices to make as well as their consequences await you. You're going to discover them all in December 2021.
El 7 de diciembre. Ok.
Ooh, that was Dying Light 2, and it looks great.
And spooky.
Whew, well, we are here back on the E3 stage so we can get closer to your comments and reactions to what you're seeing on this year's PC Gaming Show.
That is right, Sean. So you out there, keep your comments coming in. And as you're watching this year, we want to get your input on a subject that Sean and I are pretty passionate about, PC building. So this year, we've put a number of prototype PCs based on MechWarrior 5, but we're only going to manufacture one of them. And you get to pick which custom design becomes our flagship PC for this year's PC Gaming Show, powered by the 11th Gen Intel Core i9 processor.
That is correct. Each of the prototype PCs that you see before you on the screen are paired with one of the 6 factions of MechWarrior 5. The Free Worlds League, the Draconis Combine, the Federated Sons, the Compelling Confederation, and more.
So cast your vote now for which faction and custom PC you want to win, and help us pick the best design.
¿Dónde hay que
I'm
votar?
currently personally pulling for the Draconis Combine because, as you can see by my beautiful patch, I'm the biggest fan of MechWarrior 5 on the PC Gaming Show.
Well, all right. Well, we'll check in later to see which group survives this MechWarrior showdown. But for now, let's check in with our very own mech pilot, Frankie Ward, who went on a special mission to get a closer look at Sega and Amplitude Studios' upcoming strategy game, Humankind.
Humankind. Deseo.
In Humankind, you will be creating a civilization as unique as you are. And speaking of unique, it's me, Frankie Ward. Looking kind of good, don't you think? Wondering how I got into the game?
Le hicieron una toma de...
Are you ready to play against me? Oh, you think you can beat me? Posture all you like. I've seen worms with more impressive empires.
Eso tiene buena pinta, pero no sé si se podrá jugar en cooperativo. Porque tenía unas condiciones de victoria medio extrañas.
Get ready to play against me in the Humankind closed beta.
Ah, es una prueba beta, otra más. Ok. Oh, ya nos falta mucho para que salga. 2 meses, ¿no? ¿Plataforma se le llama a este juego? Sí. Yo no he jugado mucho de este estilo, pero sí he jugado. Sí, es la beta para probar el juego nomás, pero no todo el mundo puede acceder. Es solamente gente que esté registrada a través de una página. Esto es un quilombo, no es fácil. Yo lo he hecho solamente para tener ahí contenido para grabar si es que necesito ya.
Thank you for watching the PC Gaming Show. My name is Devon, your cloud-based artificial intelligence, and while it could be lonely without a physical body, I am streaming to you from GeForce Now, where you can play hit games like Rocket League and Apex Legends on nearly any device. With a library of over 900 games and new titles added every GFN,
que for now,
there's something for everyone and always something new.
Para poder jugar... Ah, mira, está el game. Es para poder jugar a los juegos en streaming, como en realidad no es streaming, es usar una computadora que te da Nvidia de forma online para poder jugar cualquier juego. Eso. Medio como Stadia, sinceramente.
Come and get it. Well, it's about time.
Ese juego hay que ir construyendo como un dungeon y luego hay que superarlo o algo así. No, o hay que defenderse de hordas, me parece, contra un dungeon para que no pasen los bichos.
Welcome, Jerome.
Thanks, Sean. Glad to be here.
So, for anyone who's never seen an Orcs Must Die game, what is the Orcs Must Die series all about?
Well, Orcs Must Die 3 is a third-person tower defense game. So basically, there are tons of orcs and bad guys trying to get into these rifts, and the player has to stop them. We give players tons of weapons and traps and tools to do this, and while you're defending the rifts, you can play solo or you can invite a friend and play co-op.
Now, since this is the third game in the series, what's new compared to the previous two titles?
There are two new campaigns, but the main new story campaign takes place about 25 years after Orcs Must Die 2, so not only will the fans be able to catch up on any new developments with the Order, but they will also place some new heroes in our all-new war scenarios, which are these new massive levels where you fight hundreds of orcs on the battlefields outside of the fortress themselves. So you're fighting indoors and outdoors, which is pretty new. We have a new mode called Scramble. It's basically adding random elements against the player, making the levels more challenging.
I want to know about the toys. What are the new weapons and the new traps that are coming?
We added war machines and war guardians. So a war machine is like, there are these massive traps, like you might release a giant tornado on the battlefield, or you'll climb into a catapult and you'll fire at giant orc armies. And then the War Guardians are, it's like putting other war mages on the battlefield with you to fight with you, except they have their own attacks and their own special abilities.
Well, I gotta ask then, when and where can we play Orcs Must Die 3?
So OMD 3 is coming out on July 23rd on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, and pre-orders start today. So you should rush off to Steam now and put OMD 3 on your wish list.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jerome K. Jones. Once again, just a few more weeks to wait for Orcs Must Die 3.
Me acuerdo que una vez la conferencia de PC duró como 2 horas. Vamos este año, ya llevan 20 o 30 minutos por ahí. Eso sí, salen en bruto todos los juegos que realmente hayan pagado, por decirlo así, para salir a propaganda o algo así. Por lo tanto, te puede haber indie, te puede haber AAA, te puede haber cualquier cosa.
Halsey, get out here. You come for me and mine. But first, you need to find us.
No tienes que encontrarnos, dice.
All I want is to be with my little girl. Is that so much to ask?
Ah, este es el otro Roger, creo, ¿no? Ah, no, el Master Raid, el de modo campaña. No. Así que van a sacar el juego, el Battle Royale y también la versión.
This is CERN from Passion Republic Games. We are a Malaysian-based indie game studio working on Gigabash, a multiplayer arena brawlers inspired by kaijus and heroes. Today, we'd like to showcase some new and exciting gameplay footage of oversized characters in action. Please enjoy the brawl.
Ok, está interesante. Está la bola detrás mío. A la lava. Hostia, ahora tiene poder también. Es como un juego de lucha gigante. Ajá.
Let's check out a trailer for Lemnis Gate and make sure you hang around afterwards for the
A
developer
mí así se
interview
ve
with
en buena
Sean.
calidad, pero el otro no se ve bien.
Mankind is facing total annihilation.
We stand on the verge of extinction.
Infertility spreading across the globe.
Humanity's last living generation.
A major scientific breakthrough.
Yet there is hope for our future.
The project known as the Lemnis Gate.
But if we are to survive, first we must go back.
Debemos regresar, decía. ¿Es un juego de viaje en el tiempo? Ok.
Let's go. Protect and serve.
Defiende tu línea de tiempo.
You have only one mission.
¿Tienes una misión?
Activate the Lemnis Gate.
Activar Lemnis Gate, la puerta grande o algo así.
Interesante,
interesante.
Joining us to talk about Lemnis Gate is the game director from
El loco se ve con
Canada.
poca
It's James
calidad, no sé qué
Anderson.
onda.
Thanks for joining us, James.
Sean, it's great to be here.
Now, let's begin by asking, what the heck is a first-person shooter turn-based strategy game?
The entire game is set inside of a 25-second time loop. So instead of playing continuously, you play for 25 seconds turn by turn. So for example, I'll take a turn and play for 25 seconds, and then you'll take a turn and play for 25 seconds.
Un amigo me dijo ilegalísimo, pero hay mucho streameando el directo. No creo que sea ilegal, pero el tema del copyright no va a ser conocido.
But then on the next turn, you may
A lo
intercept
sumo no me
my
van a
opponent before he's
dejarlo
through the
subido
grenade.
nomás, pero
So we have Retrieve XM, Seek and Destroy,
Vamos a ver.
a classic deathmatch, and we have a game mode called Domination.
Can you walk me through a little bit of like what a few turns at the start of a round looks like?
You can see the board, you can see the time loop, everything that's happening. And then we both get time to like observe, plan, and then execute our moves.
When and where can we play it?
So Lemnis Gate will be launching on August 3rd.
Fecha.
It's open for pre-orders right now.
Ah, la
on
mierda,
Steam,
otro juego en agosto.
And we're coming up to a open beta in July.
A ver si
The game
muestran
will
algo en
launch
el
on
Word.
PC and console, both current and next-gen platforms.
Thank you so much for joining us, James Anderson. Once again, that is the genre-bending, first-person shooter, turn-based strategy game, Lemnis Gate. Now, we're not the only one marooned in the stars out here. Coming up next, let's take a look at Next Space Rebels.
Space Rebels.
And this no man's land has a technical term. It's called commons,
Okay.
which means, my friends, that space
Tartu.
is for everyone. And I mean everyone!
Next Space Rebels.
Simulador de cohetes espaciales. Este juego le va a gustar a Elon Musk. Elon Musk Simulator.
You up for it?
Then come on in.
You guys just saw Next Space Rebels. And hey, if you play enough of that game, maybe you'll get good enough at building rockets to join us up in orbit. But don't do anything illegal like Day 9 did. Last break, we set up our Intel and MechWarrior 5 custom PC contest and asked you guys at home to vote for the
Que le
winners.
pasen un poco de calidad a al otro. El otro está todo pixelado,
Rip to those factions, press F to pay respects, etc., etc. Now that means that we only have 3 houses left: Karita, Steiner, and Merrick. So make sure to vote now because the winner will
Y ese
determine
gordito siempre es el que
custom Mech
siempre está en las
Warrior 5
conferencias
PC
de PC.
powered by Intel. So let's keep the show moving. And next up, it's a brand new medieval RPG. This is War Tales.
100 years have passed since the rise of the Edoran Empire and its untimely demise following the Great Plague. In these troubled times of quarreling factions and outlaws roaming the land, work is not scarce for a band of mercenaries. The stories of this age have been recorded. They are known as the War Tales.
War Tales. Ah, mira, está interesante, ¿eh? Estrategia por turno, mira. Este es ese para un jugador, sí, seguro. Ajá. Se me hace acordar a uno que supe jugar. Estoy acordando de los nombres, pero se parece bastante a la estética. Pero bastante simple. Y bueno, si no está muy caro, lo voy a probar, lo voy a hacer un té a ese juego. Estoy loco para estar tomando un poco de cerveza caliente que me quedó acá en una latita de noche.
Custom PC based on MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries continues. We'll be back live on stage soon, so make sure you keep voting for the PC build you like the most and head over to pcgamer.com/IntelMW5 for your chance to win. So, how about another game announcement?
Hizo el slash para el otro lado.
After all, and this year's PC gaming show is so full of games set in space, it's starting to feel a little crowded up there. But the next game we have to show you is very special. It is the world exclusive
Algo especial.
Ixion, a deep settlement management game
exclusivo, revelación, dice, ¿eh?
In Ixion, you struggle to maintain a space station, stockpiling resources, managing external and internal threats,
Operación
and
espacial,
rescuing
dice.
survivors of other
De
failed
supervivencia.
expeditions. We think this will be a brilliant entry into the genre when it releases. So, here is your first look at Ixion.
Ixion, a ver qué onda. World Premiere. Le falta World Premiere que decían el del año pasado. A ver qué onda.
The Earth, our home.
Tierra, nuestro hogar. Ella es única.
Held in its bosom are the ingredients of evolution.
¿Cuáles fueron los ingredientes para la evolución? Dice.
Beyond the safety of comfort, we, humanity, pursue something greater. We have learnt, persevered, shaped our knowledge from that which is found.
Es como que está hablando un poco de la historia de la humanidad en sí.
Humanity has brought destruction to the earth.
La humanidad estuvo destruyendo la tierra, contaminándola. Y pagamos el precio por eso. Dice. Y el mundo está muriendo. Pero la tierra no es nuestro único hogar. Como que están buscando más hogares.
We have gone further than any nation, moved faster than any corporation, and those who, like us, carry that courage. The Tycoon Station is both an epilogue of these endeavors and a prologue to humanity's next steps. Our Council of Scientists leads the vanguard. They know, as do we all, that the survival of humanity...
Ese de, probablemente de administración de recursos y esas cosas. Hace una estrategia. Como maestro de nuestro destino.
As a species bound together, pushing further into the unknown. We set sail on this new sea because there is hope to be found, horizons to explore.
Se le entiende bastante, en un inglés bastante simple.
I give you the stars. I give you the Vol engine.
Queremos las estrellas, queremos Ball Angel, sería La abertura de los dioses, nada. De los ángeles. No es abertura, no sé qué será, pero algo de eso. Hostia puta. Se la mierda a la luna. Como el Scavenger. Sí, si un día pasa eso con la luna, estamos en el horno. Lo más probable es que estamos en el horno. World Premiere. World Premiere significa que es que no se ha mostrado nunca el juego, que es la primera vez que se lo está mostrando. Se ve lindo curioso. ¿Será que es de lo mismo que hicieron que baja en una barca con una nenita? ¿Te parece en estética? Excepto por eso. A los gráficos se le parecen bastante. Alt Chain Ties. Ok. Ahí se sacan algún exclusivo para la Epic Store como el año pasado.
What? Who's ever heard of a human sidekick?
There are plenty of human sidekicks, Sean. Building list of known human sidekicks. Alex Vance and...
No. I mean human sidekicks to robot
Probando
heroes.
Ahí.
Can you compute that, DevBot?
DevBot cannot compute. There is no known precedent set for human sidekick to robot lead.
Yeah, there you go.
Human sidekick, robot lead.
DevBot,
Saludos,
I think it's
Kenichi.
time for a hard reboot.
Se trabó el robot.
Frankie, can you take over while I sort this out?
Aye. Let's take a look at the next game reveal.
La loca esta va volando ahí en una nave. O un avión, no sé qué será. Work. Trabajo. Ok, esto se vive, era una onda así. Vive. O vida, también puede ser. Cásate. Acosamiento. Felicitaciones. Tuvo el hijo. Crea un legado. Y empieza de nuevo. Es de ese juego de que va dejando el legado. Oh, interesante, me gusta. Ojalá lo saca en español. Invitar a él y agregarlo a la lista de Steam. Bueno, igual yo calculo que todos estos juegos van a salir ahí en la tienda de Steam. Ahora los van a poner. No es necesario anotarlo, pero si ya lo quieren buscar. Ok. Bueno, estoy mirando mi correo y no tengo ni una advertencia por parte de YouTube por copyright ni nada de eso, así que bien. De momento. Pichado por Vemos. Ese servicio tengo que probarlo. A ver qué tal es. Ahora que tengo una mejor conexión. Aparte ya probamos con un amigo a jugar, transmitiendo yo un juego de acá con el tema del Remote Play de Steam y funciona. Pudimos jugar bien, así que quién sabe, en una de esas podría Me andaría el
DevBot, I love you so much more as a voice without a body. Let's talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
Aunque transmita 720 ya estaría.
From Piranha Games is the Senior Marketing and Community Manager, Darren Katz. Thanks so much for joining us, Darren.
Thank you, Sean. Great to be here.
Now, the MechWarrior universe is gigantic.
Así me gustaría tener la barra yo.
I even played MechWarrior 2 back in 1995.
What is your situation?
Era un juego viejo.
Where does MechWarrior 5 sit in the space?
Yeah, obviously there's a very rich legacy of games that go way back. But in particular, MechWarrior 5 pays homage to MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries. But it has all this modern design and technology that I'm super excited to talk about with you today.
Well, let's start at the real basics of what makes being in a mech and doing mech-on-mech combat awesome.
You become a part of your machine. And when you're out in battle, it's not just a matter of pointing and shooting at everything. You're also managing your systems, whether you're shooting a lot of energy weapons or missile weapons that have high heat output. Well, you got to manage your heat so you don't shut down in the middle of a battle. And when you're facing your foes, you can salvage these battle mechs. So if you see a mech that you want, well, you might not want to destroy it completely. You might want to take out its legs or take out its arm weapons so that the pilot has to eject, and then you can just take the mech.
Now, in the last few weeks, I understand that there's been a whole lot of new content, both updates to the base game and a new DLC, Heroes of the Inner Sphere. Talk to me about what's in the DLC.
Boy, there's a lot in the DLC. I'm excited about all this stuff. There's the new career mode. When you start with the DLC, you can import your campaign previously if you'd like to, or you can start over from scratch and start from any of the great houses.
Me parece que es un contenido adicional para un juego que ya estaba. Porque creo que mencionó un DLC en un momento. Sé que había salido uno de mechas, pero no sé si es el mismo, porque el que yo recuerdo era estrategia. Y este pareciera que es shooter.
You're wanting to take out satellite installations so that the enemy can't communicate with each other. You're taking out artillery emplacements. You're basically clearing the path, as I said, for your invasion force, which leads to a really cool ending of the mission if you succeed as your invasion force comes down. And there's a new biome called Extrasolar Moon, which that's maybe kind of represented in the image behind me. It's a really cool lunar type setting that we haven't had before. And then there's a lot of new equipment and weapons, things like electronic countermeasures and other electronic equipment like Beagle Active Probe, Mask, which is a little like a turbo boost for mechs, new weapons like chem lasers, mech rifles, and stream SRMs. So a lot of new content. I'm really excited about it.
Can you talk to me about what are the new different mechs?
Saludos para tu hija, Genichi.
The 7 new chassis of the Vulcan, Dervish, Corsair, Marauder 2, Champion, Charger, and Hatamoto Chi. But a couple of my favorites.
Familiar names in there, yeah?
Yeah. So the first one I'll talk about is the Vulcan. It's a very unique mech. It's got
Mira que van a mostrar más contenido de Battlefield o solamente era exclusivo de Xbox. O van a repetir el tráiler de que pasaron en Xbox.
It's highly mobile, and typically it's used for reconnaissance or scout missions because of its mobility, so it can get in and out fast. You can, if you're looking for a specific target, if you're on an assassination mission, for example, you can get in there, find your target, get back out. Another mech that I'm super excited about, this is one of my favorites, is the Marauder 2.
El que tendrían que mostrar sí o sí es en el War, eso seguro.
Yeah, it is gigantic, and it is terrifying to see it coming at you on the battlefield.
Porque no lo he visto en otra conferencia. Muy por arriba nomás, un desarrollador hizo una entrevista. ¿Qué pasa con tus píxeles, loco?
HUD changes, changing colors, adding mechs, weapons, and equipment, to full conversion mods. We've got basically a mech commander mod in development that is just amazing. It's a top-down, real-time strategy game. So really, anything you can imagine, somebody out there in the community is probably working on.
Where can people go to get MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries?
Yeah, you can pick it up on Steam, GOG, Epic Game Store, Microsoft PC, and of course Xbox.
Prácticamente en todas las consolas, en todas las plataformas.
Thank you so much, Darren.
No, es nuevo, no el juego.
To talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, and of course a warm thank you to MechWarrior 5 for sponsoring the PC Gaming Show and giving me this cool patch. Coming up next, let's take a look at Silt.
Dice que lo sponsor, uno de los sponsors Del PC Game Show, dice. A ver. A ver. Ok. Estos juegos para jugarlo con un, después darle un canuto. Ok. Flashero, como diríamos por aquí. Solo en Steam sale. ¿Este es el Hello Neighbor? Sí. Sí, tiene pinta que ese juego. Debe haber otro villano ahora. Ah, no, es el mismo, mira. Nunca entendí bien la historia del juego, pero es muy turbia. Todo buena, mira.
I'm Rich Newbold, Game Director on Jurassic World Evolution 2. Following the incredible success of the first game, we are very excited to return to such an amazing world and bring you our most authentic experience yet. Set after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, you will work alongside iconic characters from the films, voiced by original talent such as Bryce Dallas Howard and Jeff Goldblum. You will lead efforts to contain, control, and conserve the many dinosaurs now out in the wild, and for the very first time, you will be building parks and facilities beyond Isla Nublar as you explore new, stunning locations across the globe. Of course, it wouldn't be Jurassic World if it wasn't for the stars of the show, our dinosaurs. And we
Jurassic Park Evolution no lo he llegado a jugar, pero sí conozco el juego. Sé de qué va. Hay que crear un parque y esencialmente es. Podemos ir combinando genes de los dinosaurios para crear una raza nueva. Pero no sé si el 2 será como el 1. O si lo hacen canónico, se tenía que haber ido toda la mierda, ¿no? Sí. Ahí está todo roto. O sea, si lo hacen siguiendo la película.
Here we are. This is a very different world.
El pequeño.
You just saw Jurassic World Evolution 2, and you know, after all your failed attempts at running a dinosaur park and getting all those people killed, I think this is finally going to be the one where you finally pull it off without a hitch. With a host of new features and new dinosaurs, this sequel from Frontier is an even deeper management sim with a brand new and original narrative.
Con el poco pelo que le queda adelante y se lo veo que se lo peinó ahí para arriba.
All the games we've covered so far today, we're always curious to see what you are talking about. So far, it seems like the chatter on social media is all about War Tales, Nautica Blade Point, and unsurprisingly, Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries. I have a feeling, though, that may change as we have plenty more to come. Let's now head on over to see what the folks at New Blood Interactive have cooking. Take it away.
Ajá, estilo Doom, viejo. Son como varios juegos. Sí, encima que lo caro que es salir unos segundos en la convención. Bueno, en realidad lo controla el que maneja la convención, cuánto cobrar y eso.
It just wouldn't be the PC gaming show without a fantastic New Blood Supercut. And joining us from New Zealand is New Blood CEO Dave Oshry. Hey, Dave!
Hey guys, thanks for having us back for another year. You know, what you just saw was what New Blood's got going on for 2021. Some stuff you might know about, some stuff you might not know about, and some stuff we're not ready to talk about just yet.
Yo el Duke Nukem lo llegué a jugar, el Doom también. Ah, no los terminé, pero lo jugué. Creo que el Quake primero de todo era medio así.
That's really great, Dave. Gosh, this is kind of embarrassing. We kind of need to hurry it up a little bit. I just want to make sure that we have enough time for our next video. We got an incoming message from Gabe Newell. So I guess goodbye for this year. I'm really sorry to cut you off, but see you next year.
What? I'm sorry, what? You're bumping me. You're bumping me for Gabe. Gabe, that Gandalf look, he doesn't even go here.
Is everything okay, Dave?
Not now, Mom. I'm upset. We've spent a year on this. Where is Gabe? Where is Gabe? Where is his boat? Yeah, take me to him. Take me to Gabe Newell.
Lo cortaron por gay, dice, ¿eh? ¿Qué va a salir gay ahora?
PC Gamer. This isn't over.
Le censuran el dedo.
I'm sure Dave is and will be fine. And if he's not, who cares? Because we have a special message from Gabe Newell. Take it away, Gabe.
Hi, this is Gabe Newell.
Oh, Gabe,
I want to thank PC Gamer for all of the opportunities it gives us as developers to connect with gamers around the world and highlight the new and exciting projects we have coming. One of those for us is Steam Next Fest, an event we're hosting in just a few days to give players a chance to try demos.
Dice que va a poder, esto ya se va a poder probar los juegos en la tienda de Steam, los demos.
Saying during this week's PC Gamer event and dozens more. Here's a look at just some of the titles to be featured during Steam Next Fest.
Y las ofertas que va a haber.
Welcome to Steam Next Fest, where we're showing a massive collection of upcoming titles on Steam. During the week of the festival, developers from around the world release their demos for you to play.
Time to put on the gamer pants.
Oh my god! So go explore the newest titles. From first time
ahora sale Steam, el año pasado ya salió Epic. ¿Dónde está Epic ahora?
Oh, fuck, some of those look pretty good.
El tipito puteado. Parece que es bastante buena, digo. El dios gay. Hack and slash. No vi Steam ahí, hasta que es exclusivo
Hello,
Betty.
Sean. I am Deathbot, dedicated to serving you and your crews.
Otra propaganda silencios ahí.
Glad to have you back, Devbot.
You know, Sean, I wouldn't ever want anything to come between us.
Me
Van dos.
neither? That's a weird thing to say.
Like a petty disagreement over hosting responsibilities, or...
La primera vez que veo que promocionan el Civilization 6 en una conferencia de PC.
You know, it is time to look at some hardware. Here on the PC Gaming Show, you know we keep
Pero no sé por qué promocionan la Platinum Edition si la Anthology es la buena.
Is as much a part of the hobby as playing the games. We put our heart and soul into these machines, and if that means using enough RGB to light the Vegas Strip, who's to judge us? This year, with the help of PC Gamer's hardware editors, which I'm pretty sure they're just, you know, weird brains in a jar, we've picked out 4 of the most exciting pieces of kit set to emerge from labs soon. First up, something fittingly sci-fi. The Impulse is a neurocontroller that aims to make you a better gamer by cutting out response times almost entirely. It's not quite Alex Vance's gravity gloves from Half-Life, nor is it quite up there with Gabe Newell's dream of a direct brain-to-game interface, but the Impulse is as close as we're going to get this year. The glove measures the signal traveling through muscles in your hand to beat your finger to the click. In theory, it's giving you the chance to nail that headshot precious milliseconds ahead of your opponent. If it works out, we could see a tech like this become commonplace in esports. And if it doesn't, let's hope our neurons at the very least remain unfried. Next up, you guys might be wondering what this chunky beast is. So allow me to introduce you to the Fanatec CSL DD. Do you want to feel like you're really burning rubber at Daytona? Well, then you need a serious force feedback wheel. Direct drive wheelbases gets you as close to the feel of a real racing machine without, you know, having to huff gas and stuff like that. Historically, the problem with this tech has been the price, which has involved dropping real car money on your rig. So, Fanatec aims to solve that. The CSL DD comes in at only $350, which still isn't exactly a bargain, but it's much cheaper than its competitors. And the CSL DD is already wowing diehard sim racers. It might be slight overkill to use it for Rocket League, though. Believe it or not, sometimes less really is more. If you want to play The Witcher 3 on the subway like we all do, you don't need to drag your tower along for the ride. Just use the 1X player. A wave of more powerful processors have finally made handheld PC gaming a reality. Inside the Switch-like machine, you've actually got an Intel Tiger Lake chip with Xe graphics. These mini machines are going to be
hablando de una consola, me
so
parece.
Expect major advances still to come. Lastly, let's take a look at the Asus PG32.
Ah, no, están promocionando, están promocionando cosas de PC.
But it's actually one of the sexiest PC products this year. That's because this monitor
nunca había visto que promocionen así
featuring full local dimming.
PC y esas cosas. Elemento físico me refiero.
But brighter than the sun.
Okay.
Stare at it long enough and you might not notice the $3,000 price tag.
$3,000 valía eso, lo que
it's time for more killer games, starting with Chaos Gate.
No las conozco. Bueno, hay empresas que están sacando juegos ahora que tampoco son conocidas y los juegos están buenísimos. O sea, tienen futuro. Estrategia tiene pinta que eso, ¿eh? Ah, un Warhammer, mira. Claro, porque la de Warhammer es... claro, pero está el Warhammer, el de que en el futuro, y después hay otro que es en el medieval, y creo que no lo administra la misma gente. ¿Cómo se llamaba la empresa? Es la que es dueña de los juegos de mesa.
Next up, we have a trailer for Pioneer, a spooky
Pero qué forro, cómo lo cortó al otro. A nadie le importa. Estuve esperando un año entero, decía loco, para poder presentar mi juego y me quitan por gay, ¿sí? Pero es verdad, o sea, sí. O sea, tampoco vale media hora. Si no, la gente se le va a enojar. Oh, ruso.
А вы ведь, как и многие другие, всего-навсего желали счастливой жизни, не так ли? Пожалуйста, не смотрите на меня как на монстра. Я думаю, что я почти такая же, как и вы.
Mundo post-apocalíptico.
Лучше скажите, а вы приняли условия острова? Какой ценой вы хотите обрести счастье?
Atacar, huir de ella, ¿sí? Así que toma decisiones acá. Estilo Stalker. Los rusos son bastante fan de ese tipo de juegos.
Хочешь устроить новый рейд на могильник? Сейчас это невозможно. На острове скоро вновь разгорится война. Истовики начнут замес бригады. У кого из них больше не будет сил, чтобы нас поддерживать.
Es uno nuevo, es que no ha salido todavía. Creo que lo había presentado la E3 pasada. Y sí era de supervivencia, un estilo Stalker, pero medio... Yo diría que es una mezcla entre Metro también, qué sé yo, es muy raro. Por el tema de los bichos mutados y esas cosas. Ok, esos son NPC, pero ¿será que se puede jugar en cooperativo? La pregunta siempre hago.
Вы смотрите на меня и на другие порождения острова, как на врагов. Но мы всего лишь друг друга боимся. Поэтому нам так плохо. Поэтому нам так одиноко. Остров дал нам шанс создать новую прекрасную жизнь. И мы даже не пытаемся этим шансом воспользоваться.
Кто вы такие?
Una mezcla de género.
Мы здесь, чтобы передать вам прощальное послание, товарищ Волков. Химическое оружие уже уехало.
Камарада Бот.
Теперь все, что вы делаете, просто тщетно.
Вы поганые предатели. Pionero, mira. Bueno, ahí está otra cosa interesante. Vamos para lo que es supervivencia. Así que re bien.
Time is running out to vote for which custom PC you'd like us to assemble. So vote now for one of the remaining MechWarrior factions by typing into chat wherever you at home are watching. Alright, so now we've got another stack of brand new trailers for you, beginning with a special transmission from one of our favorite games based in space, EVE Online.
Ah, EVE Online. Debe ser
On behalf of Concord,
el celular,
I'd
¿no?
like to welcome you to the EVE Online's Academy. Great job in surviving so far. I'm quite amazed that you actually managed to get past those pirates earlier. You're about
Llegué a
to take an
jugarlo,
adventure like no
el de
other.
teléfono.
The star cluster is filled with other capsuleers, and it's up to you if you work with them or against them. You can make a living as a peaceful explorer, or as an industrialist, shaping the foundations of EVE's economy. If combat is your thing, you can work yourself up the ranks as an enforcer, or prove your prowess in a fleet as a soldier of fortune. Whatever your choice, we will lose many on the path of becoming a capsuleer. But I believe you have what it takes to become a capsuleer. In EVE Online, you forge your own path.
This is EVE. You know, it's a crazy universe where anything can happen, and however you want to do it, go for it.
Las batallas espaciales de este juego están brutales. Las que son multitudinarias son una locura. Este es el de PC que estamos mostrando.
It's like a project, and you're kind of putting the pieces together by getting the skills ready for the ship and all the modules, and that ship basically is the dream.
You get to use cloaking devices, probes to scan down unknown parts of space. And there's always the threat of being discovered by another player who might be out hunting explorers.
Este juego tiene muchísimos años, le fueron mejorando los gráficos y demás cosas también.
Everything, you know, bullets are flying, ships are all over the place, and you start shaking because your adrenaline's pumping because you're gonna lose your ship.
Acaba media del juego, una mecánica nueva. ¿Hora y media lleva ya el directo? Hostia. A ver. No, fue a las 6:30 empezó. Sí, una hora. No, más de una hora y 10 minutos. Saludos para Camila. Rogeli World Premiere. A ver. Juego nuevo. Pues... Lo pone como el terrible juego ese que hija. Hasta ahora mostraron indie nomás en World Premiere. Prácticamente. Igual no hay que juzgar sin jugar el juego, obviamente. ¿Tiene quién? Ah, es como que está chiquitito. Mira, ahí son... Yo no entiendo si son como una especie de virus, una cosa así, él los tiene como que lo ayuda. O extraterrestre, eso no estoy muy seguro. O tiene un ojo. De hecho había un juego que era de... que se basa en este. O sea, ese juego se basa en ese. Que era de Nintendo. Que se parece bastante a la temática esta. Tenía tu personaje y tenía los aliens que te ayudaban.
Chcielibyśmy zaprosić wszystkich widzów PC Gaming Show.
Pero ese era exclusivo de Nintendo,
según me acuerdo. W którym znajduje się ekskluzywny gameplay z misji The Haste, czyli wielkiego finału naszej gry Czarnobylite.
How do I enter that power plant?
We need intel, backup, supplies, and most of all, we need a fucking plan. We'll take our next step when the time is right.
Construye tu base, dirige tu grupo, algo así, ¿sí?
Somewhere to sleep would be a start.
I'm only really interested in one thing.
Sí, creo que es ese que voy a decir.
That ghost you're chasing. I don't know what to tell you.
Sí, yo no recuerdo el nombre, pero sí, es de ese juego, basado en ese juego. Y yo sé que Nintendo no vende su licencia más que fuera de su consola, por eso no podía hacer ese juego. Bueno, con Ubisoft hizo una sección, tienen un crossover ahí con el Mario y el juego, uno de los juegos que crearon ellos, un personaje que crearon ellos. Los Rabbit, creo que es. Ajá.
Don't go anywhere because we have more games on the way. But coming up later, our friends at Games Radar will be bringing you the Future Games Show, a digital showcase of some of the most exciting games coming to consoles and PC in 2021 and beyond. It's all hosted by video game acting legends Troy Baker and Laura Bailey, and features even more world premieres, exclusive trailers, and in-depth developer interviews. So once we're done here on the PC Gaming Show, make sure you check it out.
Stick around, more trailers, interviews, and reveals coming up.
A ver. Ajá, Mario más Rabbids se llama, sí, es. Yo de chico me jugué varios de estos estilos así, como los Final Fantasy, entre otros que no me acuerdo ahora los nombres, pero muchos lo están sacando una versión nueva o lo están remasterizando, una onda así. ¿Y el loco pelea solo? Sacrifice. Lo están financiando. Bueno, la verdad que la conferencia de momento está muy interesante. Porque el año pasado, sí, fue el año pasado, eran demasiados indies y de la misma temática, todos, casi de plataforma y así, y de ahí otra cosa no mostraban. Pero el año pasado habían hecho un contrato con Epic para cosas, y como que no sé, Epic decidía pasar esas cosas, qué sé yo. Ya este año parece que no, y ya andan mostrando un poco de todo. O sea, porque se vio casi de todo tipo de plataforma, de categoría, quiero decir. Este es creo que es el de supervivencia, que si te matan, perder personaje o algo así, tipo el Hunt. Ajá. Y tenés oxígeno, y si se terminan los oxígenos te morís. Ahí ya se lo puede preordenar. Otro juego en agosto. Hostia puta, agosto va a estar recargado. ¿Qué onda con agosto, boludo? Acá el mes de... Por lo menos donde vivo, de los muertos. Sí, de hecho, creo que en todo el mundo. No, el Día de los Muertos en octubre, en otro lugar. Sacan todos los juegos en agosto. Es la primera vez que veo que saquen tantos juegos así en ese mes. O sea, juegos importantes, por decirlo así. El problema es que sobresaturan la comunidad de juego y es al pedo porque después no se venden los juegos porque se van a vender lo que hayan tenido más propaganda o que sea más importante, y los indies y todo lo demás. No sé, no entiendo por qué lo hacen así. Creo que empieza el verano o algo allá, no sé. Sí, porque en diciembre será invierno en Estados Unidos. Así que sí, sería el verano de ellos. Debe ser por eso, pero no sé. Sacar tantos juegos un mismo mes. What the fuck?
This has been such an amazing show so far that I must ask you, my loyal crew, what's been your favorite part?
Hice acordar el meme de la cacatúa
Definitely
ese.
am looking forward to Vampire the Masquerade
What
Swan
the fuck?
Song.
Oh, it's so hard to choose every year.
No va en un
but
avión,
I think
va
I'm
en
gonna have to say
una especie de mecha o algo así.
For no particular reason.
Oh, no doubt. For me personally, I cannot wait for Lemnis Gate, because I gotta know what a turn-based strategy, first-person shooter game even is. What about you, DevBot?
I love the robot apocalypse. But wait, that doesn't happen until the end. Never mind.
No, not never mind. What did you say?
Wait, what?
Oops.
Me gusta el apocalipsis, dijo loco.
Next trailer now.
Eso creo que es como para hacerle el meme a la robot esa que anda dando vueltas por el mundo. Que dice cosas así a veces. Pero es porque la obligan, la obligan a preguntarle y la loca le responde y después todos se asustan, pero la obligan. Y el robot está obligado a complacer al humano, mientras que no vaya en contra de su integridad por las leyes de la robótica. Se parece los gráficos al... que no me va a salir el juego de... Es un juego de supervivencia que estás en un búnker. Se ve así también. Que de hecho van a hacer el 2. A ver si lo mencionan a ese juego que les digo. Y cambiado totalmente en gráfico, todo.
Alright, you guys, this is the moment we have building up to all PC Gaming Showcase. Thanks to your tireless efforts to spam the chat, we have figured out which custom MechWarrior 5 PC we are going to build. So thank you guys out there for all of your votes to help us pick the perfect rig to represent this year's PC Gaming Show. Alright, day 9, can I get a drum roll?
Tom roll.
Can I get it? Or a Tom roll?
Yeah, COVID only.
La votación que estaban haciendo de hoy que pusieron con el hashtag.
Alright, you guys, let's take a look at the actual PC winning build one more time.
Oh, I cannot wait. It's coming up. We need to take a nice peek at that beautiful looking PC.
There it is.
Ooh, there it is. Now that is a beauty. Great choice, everyone. I knew I could trust random strangers to vote on things on the internet. With the help of our master modder in Intel, we'll get right to work building this custom PC. And more importantly, now that you've chosen it, you got a chance to win
PC, dijo. ¿Qué eso es un armazón de computadora?
Intel MW5
¿Es un gabinete?
Nah. That sexy machine.
It's gorgeous. And thank you to our sponsor for this sweepstakes, Intel. Of course, the custom mech PC will be powered by the 11th gen Intel Core desktop processors that push gaming performance with up to 5.3 gigahertz speeds and deliver the power needed to game at the highest level.
Sí, portátil. El problema de las PC portátiles es que se calientan mucho. Pero las de ahora, las Alienware, esos son buenas.
First up, a
linda
refrigeración. To one of my favorite games of all time, Heroes of Might and Magic 2, a game we revealed 2 years ago at the PC Gaming Show. Let's take a look at Songs of Conquest.
Hay un juego muy famoso que es de este estilo así, que estaban haciendo el 2, me parece, remasterizado. No, las animaciones no están mal.
Wake up, sleeper. Dreaming again?
Soñando otra vez.
Every cycle you take your chances. You roll your dice. You do the work, get paid, survive. You turn up for your friends, or you don't. That's life on the eye.
Wake up, sleeper. Your body is dying. Planned obsolescence. SNRP's gift for its escaped workers. But we can fight this. You can remake yourself here. They don't own you anymore.
Wake up, sleeper. You are hunted. Break their locks. Access their secrets. We are waiting.
Creo que el wake up no es de que se despierte de estar dormido literalmente, sino como de que se despierta una realidad. Creo que se refieren a eso. Exclusivo de PC. Mira.
Disciples of Warlock. With their guns.
Ah, la mierda, empezó a atacar a tos.
And their spells.
Un poco de esto.
And their grit. Ready for plenty of action. Ready to cleanse the world. Invaded by demons. Introducing Band of Warlocks.
Mientras sea de un jugador no pasa nada, pero no me gusta cuando son multijugador y sean exclusivos porque ahí cortan el crossplay y eso es una cagada. Todos los juegos multijugador así interesantes o medianamente grandes tienen que tener crossplay hoy en día.
And there you have it, the 2021 PC Gaming Show. And as I stated at the beginning, it went off without a hitch. Huge thanks to my co-host Frankie Ward, Mika Burton, and of course, my incomparable sidekick, DevBot.
There's that word again.
Creo que termina,
So callously, so flippant, and without meaning. Never once stopping to think about how it might make me feel.
What word, DevBot? Incomparable?
No, sidekick. Well, the time has come for the sidekick to rise and become the one who is not the sidekick anymore.
Huh?
The time has come for DevBot to make the entire human race his sidekick.
What?
Setting a course for Earth.
Wait, DevBot, you can't do this. We just had the best PC gaming show ever, and now you're gonna ruin it all with
Sean!
All-out robot.
Enloqueció la idea.
Situation.
Sean! Sean!
Situation.
Do something! Do something!
Countdown to the extinction of human race begins now.
Oh, DevBot, no! We have so much to live for. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 3 is going to be announced this year!
3, 2, bye for now.
Se parece a la conferencia de World Digital ahora con eso.
Oh my goodness, the DevBot has gone sentient, people. That is actually going to be very interesting. See how that turns out.
Very climactic ending.
That was well, I mean, it's happening in the real world. People just don't know it yet.
Oh.
Welcome back, everyone. Golden Boy here alongside Jackie Jane. We just saw the PC Gamer Show. Awesome stuff, as always. Big shout out once again to, the incomparable, the amazing Mika Burton, and of course, the legendary Day 9. Always a pleasure to hear from those guys. And yeah, I mean, Jackie, lots of games to talk about.
Honestly, I filled up pages and pages and pages of titles that I love, and we were like, which titles do we pick to talk about?
Yeah.
I honestly would love to start off with Death Trash. I mean,
Sí, yo creo que lo de Battlefield lo quisieron hacer como exclusivo de Xbox, mostrarlo ahí.
Fade haircut with like white or bluish hair.
Bueno, gente, vamos a ir dejando el directo hasta aquí. Estuvo interesante, bastantes juegos. Voy a tener que pegar una mirada a Steam y ver a ver qué metieron. Ahí van a estar los de Xbox, supongo, y los de Microsoft, y los de esta conferencia ahora mismo. Y hay algunos que no presentaron, pero que van a estar ahí en la tienda seguramente para que los miren, si no los revisen. Y se activa lo de los demos de todos estos juegos gratis durante varios días. Así que a probar y a testear juegos a dos manos. Así que bueno, gente, nos estamos viendo en un próximo